Hi all folks, this is Max from HighOnAndroid.com. We get high on Android every day. So today let me talk to you about the Galaxy S3 versus the HTC One X on my left. These are both the international versions. The US versions of the HTC One X, the AT&T version, comes with a dual-core Qualcomm S4 instead. That's because of the LTE support. Currently, the Tegra 3 on this one does not support 4G LTE, and also the Galaxy S3 that will be coming out in the US will also have the same chip as on the HTC One X or the Evo 4G LTE. So let me go briefly talk about some of the things that I like about both phones. First of all, the screen. There's been a lot of hypes and reviews and stuff that the One X has a slightly better screen when you look at it in microscope. But obviously, you're not gonna use your phone like this close, you know, and that's obviously, you know, you're not gonna look at it. Actually, I do when I take off my contacts. Sometimes I forget my glasses. Then I have to actually be like 2 inches. I can actually my eyes are like microscope. But from naked eye, you're not gonna tell the difference. I've got both of these phones at full brightness, and let me see. I don't know if you can tell there, but you're not gonna notice anything. So I don't see any advantages from this to this. The Samsung does have a slight edge because you can actually change the displayed mode, just kind of like your Samsung TV. I don't have a Samsung TV. I have an LG. I like LG better. It's actually it's cheaper. You get the same thing for less cost. I don't know about smartphones. They gotta really work on it. Samsung definitely has much better Android smartphones. So here you can actually go to screen mode and change it to dynamic, standard, natural, movie. People say that the HTC One X is a little bit warmer versus the Galaxy S3. It's a little bit bluish. But with this display option here, you can always change it just a little bit here. And with custom ROMs, you can even change it more. So I got it at set dynamic. I think that looks the best. As far as the processor, you're not gonna notice any lag on both phones. They're both gonna be way faster than your old iPhone 4S. So if you're upgrading from iPhone, definitely both phones are great. Let me first talk about what I like about the HTC One X. I really like the design. It's a unibody design. It's a very good design versus the Samsung Galaxy S3. I know a lot of people don't like the design, but I like this design too. It's not too bad. The matte finish on the HTC One X is definitely a winner versus the shiny plastic back here. It's, you know, it picks up a lot of fingerprints. They actually both use polycarbonate. This one is just matte. Maybe that's one thing Samsung can improve. But I don't really look at the back of my phone all the time, so it's not a huge deal. And they're actually nearly identical in design. Like, they're kind of all shaped. You know, it gives you an illusion that it's curved, both phones. So for design, I would say the HTC One X has slightly better design, but that's not something, you know, it's not something I would just pick HTC One X for. Let's go into the camera now. So the camera, I really like the HTC One X camera, the continuous mode, because you can take you know, multiple shots very fast. And there you go. I'm taking all these photos. Now, being able to take all those photos isn't just all of it. Now, if you go to the gallery, you'll notice that the HTC One X allows you to actually organize it. It's actually already organized. All those photos I took are actually in one photo in the gallery. So if I click here, I can actually click on this icon to see all my continuous photos, and also I can pick the best shot and delete the rest if I want to, or just keep them all there. Very easy to use, very organized. So it makes the continuous shooting mode very good option versus the Samsung Galaxy S3. I swear Samsung just added a software hack at the last minute, because that's what it is. It's, you know, you can go here and you have to select burst mode, burst shot, and it'll take 20 shots, up to 20 shots. Pretty fast, probably just as fast as the HTC One X. But here comes the problem when I go into gallery. My whole gallery is flooded with all those continuous shots I just took. Look at that. Now it's going to be very hard to organize. Of course, I can go ahead and select items and delete. But if I really want to make use of that continuous feature, I would. HTC X just wins in that feature. Camera, still photos, continuous shots. Next, let me get into the camera. What I like about the Galaxy S3, it has an awesome camcorder video camera. I've uploaded several samples on my High on Android channel, and I'll have links below also. One of the greatest parts about this camcorder is that it's much smoother than the HTC One X. A lot more smoother when I take videos, and also it has manual focus, so you can be focusing on that edge of the phone and everything's blurred out. And now if my subject moves to the backyard, I can simply hit that button and the front is blurred out, and I can keep doing that back and forth. And if I want to put it on automatic focus, autofocus mode, I just hit the autofocus mode. Now it's just gonna autofocus. So it's a very small feature, but as a person who makes videos every day for a living, it definitely stands out, and that's one thing I like about it. And it's a lot more stable. I would say the videos are much smoother on the Samsung Galaxy S3, which I've experienced with the Galaxy S2 also before. Just overall, I think Samsung just does better with camcorder, and the HTC One X definitely wins with its continuous photo feature, which is like better than most point and shoots out there. Next, let me talk about a feature I really like about my Galaxy S3 is that I can remove the battery. This is also 2100 milliamp per hour battery, which is huge, versus I think this is 1750 milliamp per hour battery. The Evo 4G LTE has a slightly larger battery, a 2000 milliamp per hour battery, but still you cannot remove the battery. Whereas this one, I can get an extra battery, buy it on Amazon. I can get a battery charger, and I can always have 2 or even 3 batteries. If you travel often to places where you can't charge your phone, definitely this is the way to go. And also you have a slot for microSD card, which means if you get these, I think it's the 64 gigabyte version and get a 64 gigabyte microSD, that gives you potentially 128 gigabytes versus the HTC One X. You are stuck with the internal storage. The Evo 4G LTE actually does have a back cover that comes off here very easily, and you can actually insert a micro SD card there. So the I think the Evo 4G LTE is probably the best of the HTC One X, also because you get the nice kickstand, viewing at every angle, and also the dedicated camera button, which is really cool feature. So the Evo 4G LTE definitely wins out of all the One X's. Next, let me talk about the camera. Or no, it's not the camera. The speakers. The speakers on the Galaxy S3 are super loud. Let me just give you a 5-second sample. That is very loud. I can bring it out to my outdoor tent out there, and it will rock my whole tent. Versus my HTC One X, the speakers, they just put in like something that's way smaller than the Galaxy S3. So let me give you a sample here real quick. Well, it's kind of hard to tell in the video, but if you try it in real life, you're going to get almost twice larger speakers. And if you don't use your speakers often, that's not a big deal, but it's a big deal for me because I like to listen to Pandora, stream it on my phone without headphones often, and the Galaxy S3 definitely wins with the speakers. Anyway, I don't want to make this review too long. If you want me to review a certain feature that I can compare both phones, don't forget to leave in the comments. Of course, one of the coolest parts about the Galaxy S3 is that I can actually play a video, and I can actually have the video going, which is a really cool feature. So I can be watching my home videos while browsing the web. That's kind of cool, just a little feature. And also the S voice, I haven't really messed around with it much, but I don't really use voice commands often, so I'm not going to review that. That's not really my favorite part about it, but definitely I went over all the favorite parts about both phones. Definitely for taking photos in the sunlight where I need action shots, I'm definitely going to take my HTC One X with me. Otherwise, I'm most likely going to be carrying my Galaxy S3. As far as the CPU performance, definitely the Galaxy S3 is much faster, almost twice faster CPU versus the Qualcomm. I'll give you a test here real quick. I'm going to plug it in so it's not going to go in power saving mode and it's going to skew our results. So let me just run Quadrant real quick. Oops. And also, one of the coolest things about the Galaxy S3, it has remove all features, so it kills all your apps with one button there. So it makes it really simple when you want to do Quadrant tests. Let me also run the Evo 4G LTE, which has a Qualcomm S4 instead of the Tegra 3 on the One X. So this will show you what you can expect from the US versions. There you go. Run it real quick here. But I was very surprised when I first got the Galaxy S3. I was really surprised. It's very, very similar to the One X. But one thing I really noticed with the Galaxy S3, it has a much more responsive, much more accurate keyboard and multi-touch. I've just noticed that last whole week I've been using it. You know, it's just a feel of matter thing. But if you test it out, maybe some of you can verify it. I feel like the touchscreen on the Galaxy S3 it's much better than the one on the One X. And also the audio quality. Actually, let me do that real quick. Audio recording quality on the Galaxy S3 is just awesome. Even in the wind, it will actually record your voice. I went out to the beach the other day and actually did a recording. On the One X, you get a very fuzzy, fuzziness. So you can see 5198, 4916, and 4433. So first place, second place, third place. If you look at the CPU numbers down here, that's actually the CPU. That the most important thing about it. You can see 13,258 versus 7524, and also actually the Tegra 3 did pretty good, 13,588. So I mean, these tests aren't everything. They're just gonna only show you. You know, they can vary at times, but I've done these tests a bunch of times actually, and the Galaxy S3 always comes on top. Of course, it's a quad core. If you get the US version, I'll have another test, but definitely the Design X Exynos is the way to go. If you can get the unlocked version, and if you have AT&T, definitely you're gonna love the AT&T version. King of all CPUs. And let me show you video recording here. Let's do actually all of them. Actually, these two are the same, but I'll just do it to prove it to you. So I'll just do a recording here, just to test the sound. And let's do this. Record. This is the test of Galaxy S3 and HTC One X and Evo 4G LTE audio recording. So let's play all of them.
This is the test of Galaxy S3 and HTC
And then let me show you the Galaxy S3.
This is the test of Galaxy S3 and HTC One X and Evo 4G LTE audio recording.
And you can clearly tell the Galaxy S3 has much better recording.
This is the test of Galaxy S3.
You can see the HTC One X picks up a lot of noise.
Audio recording.
So overall, I would say the camera on the One X is awesome. The one on the Galaxy S3 is awesome too. Just the continuous mode is just flawless on the HTC One X. But as far as video and audio goes, the Galaxy S3 clearly wins. And I think that's about it. Other than that, I mean, they're all great phones. You know, the performance differences are going to be negligible, especially for all the apps. Unless you're a hardcore gamer, then definitely I think you should go with the Galaxy S3. If you're looking really for a better design and just kind of for fashion, definitely the HTC One X is a way to go. And also for rooting and custom ROMs, your Galaxy S3 is going to be much easier to root. It took me literally 3 minutes to root. I have the video to prove it. Versus the HTC One X, I had to actually go to htcdev.com and unlock it. Takes you about 20 minutes, an hour if you're new. And also the AT&T version is even worse. You have to change the CID to all ones, and then you have to go to HTC Dev, and you know what? It's just a big headache. So if you're gonna root and install custom ROMs, definitely you're gonna have more choices, and it's gonna be easier on the Galaxy S3. You'll still get a lot of ROMs with the HTC series, but a lot of developers are obviously moving to Samsung because it's easier to hack. Definitely, this is the hacker phone, and definitely this is more like a designer phone. You just want to stay with sense, maybe. I don't know. So I kind of went over what I liked about it, but do let me know what you want me to review about HTC One X versus the Galaxy S3 or the Evo 4G LTE, and I think that's it. So that was just kind of comparison, and this is still my winner. And also we'll be giving out Galaxy S3 giveaway. I'll have link to that video. If you still have like 2 weeks to enter, so go ahead and enter. If you didn't, you can win a brand new Galaxy S3 rooted with a bunch of custom ROMs installed, all by me here. And if you're on YouTube, please hit that like button for me, and subscribe button up here if you have. Thanks a lot, and please use that share button to share this with your friends on Twitter, Facebook, or Google+. And thanks to you guys for supporting my channel. Stay high on Android, and don't buy an iPhone.